Hello there. Let's talk about conquering that competition. It's a good day for it, and we've always got plenty of it, so let's just face it head on and go for it. You ready? I'm talking to you now on behalf of the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. That's a group of folks that follow our webinars and exchange ideas and do networking, and all of us trying to build better businesses and learning from each other. So welcome. It's glad to have you here today. All of us have jobs that we have to do. Some of us just getting our businesses started, some have been in business for a while. But either way, it is so important that we keep on top of our business and keep enhancing our skills and reminding ourselves what needs to be done to keep our business alive. This presentation is being sponsored and facilitated by the Small Business Center at James Brunt Community College. John Hardison and Tanya Braswell are over there, ready and willing to serve you. Here's her phone number. Let me encourage you to set up an appointment. If you don't know where your small business center is, if you're not in the Kenansville area and want me to help you get in touch with the director there at your local business center, just drop me an email, let me know, and I'll be glad to put you in touch. John does a great job. He's got a lot of experience, and he knows how to help folks who's already in business and those getting started. And Tanya is a wonderful administrative assistant. She helps us with staying in touch with all the folks that attend the seminars and webinars. I want to remind you that I'm not a lawyer or an accountant. I'm just a fellow that's been in business for a while and enjoys sharing ideas and tips that hopefully will save you some money and make your business more profitable. The first advice I need to give you is always get a second and third opinion on any issues that you're unsure of that are going to affect the stability and financial well-being of your company. And that's a good place to get those opinions is at your small business centers. This is part 10 of a 10-part series. It's been going on now for 5 weeks. The series called Raising the Bar in 2022 for the small businesses. So those of you that have attended all the classes, congratulations. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and you're always welcome to come back as often as you can to keep renewing what we're doing. Kind of broke this down into 31 different tips, so you can do one a day if you want to about conquering the competition. So one day at a time, we'll stay on top. I do hate losing. I started playing sports when I was in high school, and winning is just a whole lot better thing to do, and especially if you're in business. Now, we're going to get knocked down a lot. There's no doubt about it. And until we get some experience built up, we just can't get put down by not getting every deal that comes your way, because it's just not going to happen. So, yeah, I hate losing too. So let's see what we can do about it. The key is we need to know what the threats are. And competition is a wide-ranging subject that everyone's got an opinion on. And mine is going to take a little bit of different slant because, in my opinion, after being in business for 65 years or 63 years and still doing it today with working with customers every day all over the country, and also having 14 years experience helping folks get their businesses started through the webinars and seminars and counseling, I can tell you that the most threat that we have competition-wise is within ourselves. It's not out there in the rest of the world, because there's enough business out there for all of us to do real well. It's just, are we in a position to take advantage of it? And if it does come our way, are we in a position to close the sale and turn that all that effort into profitability? So our competition lurks everywhere. It's within us. It creates daily struggles. And what that competition is the distractions that you and I have to deal with every day. If we want something different to happen tomorrow in our business, that means we got to do something different tomorrow to make it happen. And we're all busy. Some of us have so many distractions or responsibilities. It's hard to make a change. So I know that's the case, and I'm coming from the standpoint of trying to help you do that. There's no other way to fight distractions to help you get your business started than setting priorities. we have to determine every morning when we wake up what we're going to achieve, and then try to get out there and make it happen. And that means we have to put some other things on the side burner as much as we can. Another thing that's going to help you beat the competition is maintaining high standards in the way that you do business. So to compete, you got to be ready to be in a state of rivalry, because that's what it is. It's like a game. It's maybe not as tough as gladiators, but sometimes it could be. But you got to keep an eye on your position, your profit, what is the prize, and be ready to do battle, of course, in a civil way and in a business-like way, through a lot of different methods that we talk about in all of our seminars and webinars. So what is the goal? How can we start defining this now? So the goal is for you to have a competitive advantage. A competitive advantage. So if you want to today and tomorrow start saying, well, Steve, what are the priorities that I need to set? My recommendation to you would be, when you wake up in the morning, say, what am I going to do today to improve my competitive advantage? So I've got 10 lessons now, and these first 10 little snippets are all about what we can do as individuals. We'll go through these, and then we'll have 22 little lessons that what can we do in our business. So as individuals, here's what I suggest. Always be looking towards the future. Look towards the future and don't focus and be so concerned about the past. It's important that we remember where we've been, because that's the way we can tell where we're going. But you think about the future. What are you doing today to create your legacy? Just putting that on mind, that's going to help you start looking forward to the next best thing and not let what's happened in the past slow you down. Then I want to say to you, present yourself professionally, because a lot of being in competition is first impressions. So if you're presenting yourself professionally, you're going to get off to the right foot compared to the competition if you look better, have your presentations professionally done. A lot of people say, and how true it is, you got to dress to impress. Now you can overdress and you can daggone sure underdress, as we see a lot of people doing. But just keep in mind that the competition has a lot to do with the way people focus on you and perceive, are you a professional or not. There's a time to be casual, and there's a time to have leisure dress and such as that. But there's also a time that you want your image to present the very best of you that you can be. Sometimes it's in a suit. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you need a starch shirt. Sometimes you don't. In doing webinars like this, I try to offer a mix so that I'm not always wearing exactly the same thing, and sometimes a little more casual than others. But I want to do that so that people that are sitting at their home, we can communicate in such a way that I'm trying to relate to maybe how you're dressed. Sometimes when you're in your phone, you need to leave your cell phone on. If you leave it in your car, that indeed will keep you from being interrupted by your cell phone call when you're trying to talk to a customer, which is a really bad thing for you to stop trying to close a deal or make a presentation to answer your phone. That's bad manners. Be aware of your vocabulary and the manners that you put forth. Do some practicing if you have a problem with that, because you don't have to talk, and those first impressions are important. And be on time. Arrive on time. Don't always be someone that's got excuses, because that really turns folks off. Having a list of pre-prepared, fully prepared, frequently asked questions. In business, we're going to be asked the same questions time and time again. As long as you're in business, you're going to learn to have those questions come in. And you'll be able to pick up signals. And if you've got your frequently asked questions written down with great answers on them, and you've already practiced them, then when you're responding to these important questions to the customers, you're going to look really good and make a good first impression, which will improve your chances to close a deal with these people. What what really causes poor performance is a simple answer, that you have not completed and rehearsed and properly prepared for your meeting. So just going down the road haphazard without good preparation is a good way to make bad impressions. And the salespeople or the business people that really focus on this, they're the ones that are going to get the majority of the business. So you have to excite people by the way you look and your steadfastness and your character and the integrity that you put forth. I want to mention to you that one of our drill skills is we're going to be really careful not ever to let charisma take the place of character. Keep that in mind, because folks will look through the charisma that someone's trying to put forth, maybe as a screen or smoke and mirrors, but folks will recognize character and integrity, and the more you present that, the better your chances are to beat the competition. And if you don't have enthusiasm, if you're not excited about the opportunity to do business with these folks, I'll guarantee you they're not going to be excited about either. Enthusiasm is very contagious. So the more you smile and the more interested you are in that customer you're talking to, you're going to beat the competition if you outdo them. Build a solid reputation. Understand that reputations are important, and you be in the right places and give the right scenes to make the right impressions. Have your introduction elevator speeches ready. Your conduct in public, at community services. Are you being a giver or a taker? Of course, I want you to be a giver. And keeping your credit worthiness up in good shape all go a long way to putting your image in the community in good standing. Why is that important? Because most of the business that's going to come your way will probably be recommended by someone else who recommended they do business with you. And people will not recommend you to other folks if they don't think that you're always doing your best to maintain a good image, use the right language, show up in the right places, so that by recommending you, it's a plus for them. If you disappoint that customer, then they come back and they'll never recommend you again ever. That's why raving fan customers are so important, that you remember who they are so that they will recommend you in all different situations. Make sure your presentation is a work of art. You're ready to do business? Are your forms all filled out good? You got all your features and benefits, you've practiced on those? Have you got the document ready so all it needs is a quick signature or an initial? The other side of that would be you have a chit-chat conversation with the customer and you say, well, I'll get back to you in a day or two with a proposal. Well, and then you come and close the deal and you have to say, well, okay, I've got all these notes down. I'm going to finish this up and I'll bring it back to you. That's sloppy work. What you want to do, what you want to try to do is go ahead and have a template, a purchase order sheet, something already prepared that you can easily just fill in the blanks and close your deal right there while you're with the customer. Your competition that's doing what I just mentioned before, kind of messing around and getting that quote to them while they're trying to get their paperwork ready, you've already got the deal and the money in the bank. That's why it's important to have your paperwork, your presentations ready as if it's a work of art. As a professional person, just like these two deers here are locking horns, you're going to be locking horns with people all of your business life. It may not be as graphic or as picturesque as this is, but indeed you need to have that mindset that you're forecasting and you're negotiating and your deal closing skills, your person-to-person sales skills are very, very important. Now, if you're brand new in the business world and have never faced these things, I understand that. I was that way one time when I was 18 years old, so I know what it is. But now for some 60 plus years, I've been involved in the game, and it just comes natural to me, and I do love it, and you'll learn to love it as well. But here's what I want to say to you. If you need to be enhancing, improving your forecasting, negotiating, deal closing skills, Don't wait. Go ahead and start doing it now. And if you send to me an email that you would appreciate some more information on this, and maybe one of the maybe a recording of one of the seminars that I did talking about these particular things, I'll be glad to send it to you, and you can start studying and doing things right now. So you don't have to wait. Start improving those skills right away. They'll help you every day. You want to be available to your customers and stay in touch with them. Customers appreciate the fact that you touch base with them. Now, there's a lot of difference in pushing and be a pain in the butt to try to force people to do something. That's not what I'm talking about. But just touch base, just seeing how you're getting along, see if there's anything I can do for you today. I want you to know that you're very important to me. And then you listen to what they say. That's how you make people feel important, by being a good listener and by staying in touch. I'm not saying keep pushing to pressure them, but just let them know that you want to keep a good business relationship with them. The stronger your relationship is with the customer, the less chance competition is going to have to take it away from you. Every customer is important to themselves, of course, just like what's on your mind is important to you. And you have to be aggressive and hungry for the business and take what they're saying as if it's a fire burning on. Be energetic enough and show the customer that you're trying to get right back to them. Right back to them makes a lot of difference. Now, just before I started taping this presentation, I had a phone call from a customer over in Greenville who had a tiller that goes behind his tractor and needed some parts for it. And he was saying that he was trying to figure out what model it was. Well, I asked him a series of questions, was able to determine that, and sent him a parts book within 5 minutes, and followed it up with a phone call. And he said, Steve, I really appreciate you putting this on your front burner, because I'd like to get these parts ordered today, so maybe I can get it fixed by the first of the week. Folks really appreciate it when you give prompt, energetic response to their request, and it makes you look a lot better than the competition. All of us know how disappointed we are when we call somebody and leave a message, or we send an email and never hardly ever get a response back. And if we do, who knows? You also know that you've probably got relatives that you try to stay in touch with, and they almost never return your phone call or your text. Now, here's a step on your toe. I'm sorry here, but if that's a part of your DNA about ignoring messages and not responding right away when someone's in touch with you, then you don't have a problem in closing sales, because the competition, the ones that have made it, that's not part of what they do. So get in the habit of being very responsive to all your text messages and emails and telephone calls. Big deal. Own the opportunities that come your way. A little opportunity that you're helping a customer with today, it may be just a little nickel dime deal, but if you treat it like it's a big deal and give them good service, then you are going to create a relationship. If you act like the small potatoes don't mean to you, then let me tell you, a customer is not going to come back to you with the big potatoes. Look, appreciate every little deal that you can. Each one of them is important. In my business, when a customer calls me and needs a 25-cent part, a little O-ring or a bolt or a nut, I know I need to give that prompt attention and get it on to them, because the next time they call, they may be shopping for a $2,000 or $3,000 piece of equipment. But if I ignore them or don't give them the kind of service that they need, then I'm not going to get a chance for the big sale. The word now is savvy. That's a good word to put in an entrepreneur's tool chest. I want you to be savvy enough to navigate the challenges that come your way. What does that savvy mean? Street smart. Street smart is having the kind of sense that it takes to make things happen on your street, in your town. And that's why I offer you 40 drill skills in your handouts to be practicing how to become more savvy. I think I'm going to like that word and use it more this year. What is your goal now, that competitive advantage? when you have the competitive advantage in small business, your goal then becomes having happy customers. That's right. Happy customers. I know that may seem a little light and cheery. I want it to be, because happy customers are those that become raving fan customers and send more business your way instead of sending them to the competition. What are the secrets to get repeat customers? How can you keep the competition from stealing your customers? That is a big, big, important question, right? Well, now we're getting into the 22 different things that you'll be doing as the business, not as the individual. Let me take just a minute, get a cup of coffee here. We'll start out with the same rule. As a company, look to the future and not to the past. Before I was talking about what you were doing in the past and what you're going to do in the future. Now let's look at the role your company is going to play and what is your company's legacy going to be. There'll be a company that's involved in the community, that makes charitable contributions when they're needed. Is it a company that projects a good image and their employees are out in the community bragging on the company? So here's the places you got to think. Take a stake in your employees. Make sure that you care about their needs. Encourage them to brag on the company. Encourage them to bring customers to you. You don't see that often, and sometimes it will give you the competitive advantage to make a major difference for you. Take time to tell your story. On your web pages, maybe on a brochure, to your employees. You may have employees that have no idea how you and your company came about. List down your history. Be proud of it, and put it in writing and share it, because customers want a relationship with people. They don't need a relationship with a company. They need a relationship with people. So always be willing to share your story, because that may bring common denominators with your customers. Now, your business is distinct, and promoting your distinction, promoting your differences, what makes you special, is a very good way to put you in front of the competition. You've got your own unique voice for the company, and it stands for different things. It targets different types of customers, emphasizing on what you're selling and allowing your business to glow, to put a light on it. Build a business that you can light up and use it as a marketing tool. Now, let's say that in other words. Make sure your marketing is marketing your company as much as it is your products. Marketing your company as much as it is your products. And always be talking about why your company is something special. And then you need to make it special with your own unique voice. Your reputation, just like an individual, your reputation as a company and paying your bills on time. Can you be trusted? Will you keep customers' confidentiality? Build a solid reputation, and then start putting those reviews and testimonials out there. Testimonials at your website, at Google My Business account. And make sure that anytime you have a chance to turn an unhappy customer into a raving fan customer, you have just killed the competition. Because competition is not going to take raving fan customers away from you. Got to be excited. The company has to show that it's active, it's growing. You are constantly changing your home pages, your website, to make it more interesting to look at. You're putting different displays out in front of your store. You're offering different and improved profit centers for your customers. In other words, you want to be doing things that excite people about you and doing business with you. Kind of like the deer here, getting all the cats to chase it. Your organization needs to create a team spirit within you and your employees and your customers. Now, if you don't have employees, I understand that too, but still that team spirit can exist the way you treat your customers as if they're members of your team. You are here to support their farm or their business or their lifestyle, whatever it is, and insert the spirit that we're here to work with you for year after year, instead of we're just here for this one deal, and we're going to be the cheapest so you can come save $1 or $2, and next time you shop all over the world, and maybe you'll come to us if we got the cheapest price. No, no, no. That is not what you want to do. You want your customers and your employees to be thinking, we're in this for the long term. Yes, we want to help you today so we can help you better tomorrow. That's how you kill the competition. The caliber of employees that you have will have everything to do with how customers look at you and come back to you. You may be grade A plus, but the customers that come to your business or that are dealing with you, they see the employees that you have hired. So you want to hire the best. You're better off not to hire anybody unless you really make a big effort to hire the very best employees. Now, we did a webinar a few weeks ago about how to find and hire and keep the best employees. And I want you to, if you need to study up on that, I'll send you some information. But you need to care about your employees, and you need to train them to care about the customers. That's a key factor. If you want to learn more about that particular subject, I want you to encourage you to purchase and read 2 or 3 times the Dream Manager book by Matthew Kelly. It's on Amazon. I think it sells for $16, but it's a life-changing little short read book that you can read in about an hour. And I've had customers that have told me, and clients that have told me, it's made a major difference in their life. Now, I'm telling you as an individual, old Steve-O here, it's made a major difference in my life. Just a way of thinking about how to think about what your dreams are and get with some other people and share and work towards it and help them see their dreams come true, and yours will come along as well. And when you apply this same logic in a business setting, it is just amazing how good it is to help you keep employees and everybody feel good about working for your company for a long, long time. Now, all the other stuff we've just talked about are basically a laundry list of little things that we need to do. But now we need to be more specific. To beat your competition and to stay on top, you need a marketing strategy, because your serious competitors have one, and if you don't, then you're not going to have a chance. You want a marketing strategy that helps you find the low-hanging fruit, the ripe and low-hanging fruit. That's the customers that you have the best chance to do business with. And you got to remember, you can't be all things to all people, but you have to be everything to some people. And those people will become your raving fan customers. We must be everything to some people. Now, how are we going to do that? We're going to do it by making sure we've got the profit centers that will really attract certain niche groups of customers. Maybe it's people that's just in your neighborhood, or maybe it's people that are doing certain things, but decide the products and the services you're going to offer that will bring in a steady flow of people that will start depending on you. That's right. You want people to depend on you so they'll keep coming back time after time. And if you provide the right service with all the right hospitality and customer service and customer experiences, then you will start creating loyal and raving fan customers that will start marketing for you. And therefore, if they're marketing for you, who's going to take it on the chin? Your competition will. Another way that you can outshine the competition is branding. Branding your products and services with your brand name, with your DBA names, so that you'll be remembered. People will remember that they can't buy a Steve Carver pair of shoes from anybody but Steve Carver. So instead of me just selling shoes, I need to be selling Steve Carver shoes. If you're going to sell pound cakes, you need to be selling Shirley's pound cakes, not just pound cakes, and make those cakes so special that when someone wants another one, instead of just thinking, hey, I'm going to go buy a pound cake, What's in their mind is, I'm going to go buy a Shirley's pound cake because it's so good. Those extra benefits that you add also by branding, such as more flavor, maybe a little something extra, maybe some bundle deals that you do, help customers pay more attention to you than they do to the competitors. And it's a daily struggle to keep those customers tuned into you. Every customer is a sweetheart. Large, small, whether we see them once a year or once a day, cuddle and guard those relationships with your customers. They're the ones that are here today for you, and they need to be made feel important and do all that it takes to keep them coming back. Making them feel important is so important. MTFI, make them feel important. Remember those 4 letters. And never, ever forget your loyal customers. Show the love to them. If they keep coming back, show that you appreciate it. And engage with your customers to ask them what products you might need to add or change to make them more happy with things. You would say, now, is there something here I can be selling that you're having to go somewhere else to buy? Or would you like for me to stock another product or another brand? You have to ask those questions. And when you do and you respond to the customers, you let them know you've got it, then because they had something to do with your decision to stock it, they're coming buy it from you. That's just a human nature of things. And now we have to have that competitive sense that we're going to outperform. We will outperform because conquering your competition means working harder, working harder and working smarter. How's one of the ways we can work harder and smarter is, first of all, is create that database of customers. Create the list of people with their email addresses and phone numbers that you can very easily send out promotional campaigns to them. Very easily do it. And through the use of certain email techniques and such as that, it's down to a system now that you can send out 2,000 emails in less than 2 minutes for a very nominal cost. Do it all you want to during the month for less than $50 a month. And so having a database in these days in 2022 is a must if you want to grow and keep your business. The database helps you stay in touch with your customer. If you're not doing it and your competition is, then they're nibbling at taking your business away from you every day. So you've got to fight to keep your customers. I like to go fishing. And when you're fishing out in the ocean, you need to keep fresh bait in the water. That's just all there is to it. You got to keep that bait out there in the water. And if you're out there in the water and the bait's not in it, I don't guarantee you're not fishing. Well, in the marketplace, you and I know your competitors are out there working. They're fishing every day. Are you fishing just as hard and just as smart? How do you fish for customers? You keep sending out constant promotions. You keep letting them know that they're important to you. You keep inviting them to come back. You just don't lay back and say, hey, they know where I am. When they're ready, they'll come by here. If that's the attitude you've got, I'll tell you, you're going to be in trouble this year. Be proactive and you'll see your business grow. Be no active and you'll see your business go stale and other businesses grow, which means you're backing up. There's no such thing as staying still in business. You're moving forward or going back. So keep fresh bait in the water. Keep sending out constant and fresh promotions. Now, you got to stay on top. Here's a reality check. You got to stay on top of price changes. And in today's world, after COVID and with inflation coming on, prices are changing big time. Not only do you need to maintain a close eye on what you're paying for items, but you also need to keep a close eye on how do your prices stack up with your competitors. So here's what I want to recommend that you do. Do a price comparison daily. If you're out here on the internet and you're offering a certain number of products and price competition is tough on you, then you need to determine who your main 3 competitors are. And you visit their websites daily to see what they're doing with their prices. I'll tell you, that if you're in a fairly large business or dealing with big ticket items, this is a real important rule, because you may not be getting orders because one of your competitors changed their prices down and got a few dollars under you, and if it's that type of product, the customers just are going to buy from the least person that's got it. That's the way it is. So you got to check on your competitors almost daily to see if you need to change your pricing or presentations. Just as important as keeping an eye on your competitors' pricing is that you're keeping an eye on where you can get the best deals. Now, inflationary times are really volatile for small companies, because you may be able to find a manufacturer or suppliers that's got an overstock, and yeah, in today's world there's still some overstocks, and they're wanting to liquidate some inventory to go on to other things that's important to you. Just know that you're wise to look for buying opportunities so that you can, if you buy right, then you can sell right. That is, if you take advantage of a really good deal where you're going to save 15, 20, 30% on what you're buying, and you go ahead and use some resources to capture that stock, then you can go out in the marketplace and promote better deals to your customers and eat the competition's cake, because they're still dealing with the old pricing or the higher price stuff that they had to buy. This is a big deal. This is a dog-eat-dog world when it comes to pricing and comparisons. So if you need more information on different ways to price your products and services, I'll be glad to send you a study guide and some information on that as well. You got to stand out with outstanding customer service. This isn't just to say, hey, my company gives good customer service. The key to beating the competition is that you're standing out, that you're doing things different with every aspect of customer service that you can think of, adding a personal touch, addressing issues quickly, responding to questions quickly and with good answers. The key here is be dramatically different than you were yesterday. You know, this isn't about being dramatically different than your competition. That's just a given. That's everybody knows that. But what I am encouraging you to be, and I'm encouraging myself to do it too, that up the ante every day with your presentation and with your service. Stand out so that the customer will say, hey man, he's really trying hard to give me the great customer service, and I appreciate it. He's always done good, or she's always done good, but these days they're just going the extra mile. In other words, I want to give you the extraordinary extra mile award. That's right, the extraordinary extra mile award, because you're standing out with your customers and killing the competition when you do it. Now let's bring in some internet considerations when we're talking about competition. I already mentioned, very importantly, you need to check the websites of your 3 most important competitors on a regular basis to see how your prices and offerings are stacking up to theirs. Now, your SEO strategy, search engine optimization, is really important. So we got to say that it's really important to stay in front of your competition. Different strategies and loads in there is so important to beat the other people that's trying to take your business away. But in no other situation is anything more important for you beating the competition than your mobile page. Your mobile page is just a great big capital ABCD importance for you to have customers find you. Now, why is that? Because most people today are using their smartphones to shop. And the image they see on their smartphone related to your business is a mobile page. And your webmaster, whoever's doing your web work, needs to make your mobile pages really powerful and really easy to use. Now, I like to say a good mobile page is one that gets people to call you right now. So be thinking about that. All right. Keep the high standards and performance you can. Think about how to promote and improve the customer expectations that are coming to you, and then start exceeding them for the customer. If someone's coming in and they're just getting what they expect, that's okay. But if someone's coming in to do business with you and you're exceeding their expectations, that's a winner. And that's what we want to do. We need to keep surveying the market to see what the competition is doing and be ready, stand ready to do what it takes to stay on top and out front. Bring in the new products when they're needed. Stay ready to make a change. Your competition is doing it every day. That's why you need to keep an eye on them. Create some really unique and dramatic sales formats and promotions. Bring in some different characters, some different colors, some different ways. Go the extra mile to give that good service. Do what it takes to make your ads and your presentations make customers want to come on in and do business. And when they do, you're doing things that make them want to encourage their friends to come on in and do business with you too. This don't happen by itself, but it can be done with a lot of different little things that you'll do to be dramatic and unique. I've always liked Kenny Rogers, and I enjoyed his show, The Gambler. And of course, it's his song. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them, right? Well, that's the same way with products and media. Reducing expenses and not advertising sometimes is an awful thing to do. But if you've got advertising and products that are not working for you, then I want to tell you, be willing to make the changes, change the priorities to find the things that do work and hold and fold the items that are not. That put your energy towards the areas that are creating sustainable business. Now, that doesn't mean that just because you got some little ticket items, some little things that you don't make much money on, that you ought to cast them out, because that's the furthest thing from the truth. You need a variety of products that customers are coming in, but you want to keep those lower cost items that customers keep coming in for the ones that are the highest volume, so that you've got your inventory invested in things that you can turn being turnovers, because we don't make any money till things start turning over. So if you've got items that's going on that are just kind of dead weights on you and not doing what they need to do for your business, then know when to hold them and know when to fold them. The same thing is true with employees. One thing that might help you and beat the competition is to start using affiliates or co-op advertising opportunities or co-op marketing opportunities. Social media is a great way of start doing that. Some of my clients are actually selling their products on Amazon now. Lots and lots of you are selling on Facebook. I use Facebook and Amazon. Well, I use Facebook and Amazon and eBay to help promote my products, mainly to help send customers to my website by the ads that I put at those places. Another thing that needs to be on here too is, as we've got listed down here with Google, the Google My Business ads is one of the greatest ways to really get out in front of your competition, because really a lot of your competition is not there. And if you are, that gives you the edge. But now let's focus on not what you're doing and what your company is doing, but we also need to take a close look at what our competition is doing. Now, we've already said that the biggest competitor we have is ourselves. So in front of everything else, we need to change priorities in our life and in our business life to change those priorities to get in front of the competition. But in order to know if you're in front of them or not, you got to know them top to bottom. So learn to check out their strengths and weaknesses, their problems, where they're headed. Learn to ask your customers that's doing business with somebody else, get inside information on what's going on. Because at the end of the day, the end of the year, we're going to need to outwork, outbrand, outthink, use guerrilla marketing, have value-added things for our customers. And when we do that, we're going to be able to outlast them. But I want you to stay friends with them. I want you to stay friends with your competitors when you have a chance. I don't want this to be a war. I want you to have a good, friendly relationship with your competitors, because there's a lot of things that can happen through a good relationship. One, if you've got a competitor that's focused on certain things and you're on others, then encourage them to send those customers they can't serve over to you. And you do the same thing. For years and years, for 30 years plus, I was a Kubota tractor dealer and other things. But right next door to me was the John Deere dealership. Now, of course, John Deere in eastern North Carolina really serves big tractor markets and big combines, and they just own the market in the bigger equipment, whereby our Kubota stuff was mainly middle-sized tractors and down. So, of course, they have those product lines too, but we had a good working relationship that I would send anyone that was shopping at my place and they wanted to talk about big equipment, I'd send them over to the John Deere dealership and encourage them to go over. And on the other hand, the Deere folks would send folks over to me when they were shopping for certain smaller equipment that maybe they had in their product line, but they knew that I was giving them enough business that they didn't stock those items that were in direct competition with me. So you can have a relationship with a competitor that's a win-win for both of you. Okay. Also, you always want to keep a good relationship with your competitors, because you sometimes will need to ask them, what type of customer is this guy? What type of customer is this lady? Because sometimes getting the inside track on whether people pay you on time or lie to you or take advantage of you, that information shared with competitors will make a major positive difference from time to time. Now, I want to say, this, you'll find this interesting, I'm sure, is that sell with selectivity. I want you to know that there's a lot of business out there, and you already know that. And I want you to know that if you get all the business, if you're out here selling as low cost as you can, cutting your profits down, trying to raise your volume way up, more so than worrying about how profitable you are, if you're getting all the business, then you're going to get all the bad business as well. Yeah, there's business out there that you don't want. There's business out there of people that don't pay you or take advantage of you or have bad influences. So be selective. And if your gut's telling you or someone's telling you that you need to really think about whether or not you want this company's business, then you listen to them. Now, 1969, when I got out of the Coast Guard and came back and started selling for my dad at the dealership, I went out. I was all about, you can imagine, I went out. I wanted to sell everybody that had a dime in their pocket. I wanted to sell everybody some of our equipment, because I was making a living and wanting to see my business grow, and I could sell pretty good. But my dad always told me, his name was Alvis Carver. He said, now, Steve, you be careful going out there in the woods, trying to set the woods on fire. That's what people used to say if you were a hot salesman. Out in the countryside, door-to-door selling, setting the woods on fire. He said, you be careful about setting the woods on fire, because let me tell you, yours will be the first ass that gets burned. And he was so right about that, because if you're starting to get all the business, you're going to get all the bad business, and you will get burned sometimes if you're not careful. Never think that everything is just fine. Maybe you're getting along well, but don't ever put on those rose-colored glasses and let it take you off your game. You got to stay on top. You got to stay on your toes. And mainly, you need to be looking for new upselling opportunities. The key word is upselling. Now, what does that mean? Upsells. That's when you have a product that you can sell to a customer and immediately say, and by the way, we've also got this that goes along with that. And by the way, we've also got this that goes along with that. Because your upselling opportunities are the easiest and best place to start stacking your profits. Now, I wrote a book at Amazon called Stack Your Profits, and it talks about upselling and how to go about doing that. And I cover that in a lot of webinars as well. I'd be glad to talk to you about it. But you need to, in your business, say to yourself, every day, what can I add to help me have something that I can upsell with my customers? Upselling is to say that, let's say you're having 10 customers a day, and they're buying one thing from you, so you're making 10 sales. Okay? And now you start adding upsells. That is, you have added some products that people that buy that one thing would also add to the purchase if you had it there on the shelf, or maybe two products. So you add an upsell item, and now that same customer comes in, those same 10 customers, and instead of buying one thing, they buy two things. And you just doubled your profits. You doubled your profits with the same number of customers, which means your profitability really is stacked up, because the more money you can make with the fewer number of customers means you're doing a great job with your business. And then as you add customers, you stack sales, just keep going up and up and up. So stay on your toes. Let me tell you, this is a big thing to underline on your handout here. What can you be adding to your business offering or menu to your customers to help you have more upsells? Fight the distractions, set the priorities, maintain the high standards, and be the best person you can be. Big, big deals when we're talking about the competition. You got to imagine with all your mind, and believe with all your heart, and achieve with all your might. Go after it. Feel good about doing business. Smile and be the best a person you can be, letting your light shine. Let me tell you that I really do appreciate the chance to be with you on your journey through entrepreneurship. I want you to stay a close member and associate in the Academy of Associates and Entrepreneurs. We have a big time, and we share a lot of information with each other. So if you'd like for me to promote your business during our webinar series, send me a picture and a little bit about your business. And every time I'm talking on the subject or have a chance to put a little advertisement in for you, I'll be glad to do it. So in closing, let me say, may God bless you and keep you and your family and your business as well. Let your light shine like the Cape Lookout Lighthouse shines down here. It makes such a big difference for everybody that's involved. I want to tell you that it's been a pleasure to be here with you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Send me an email. Let me know what's on your mind. Send me an email. Let me know how I can send to you any study guides, or if you want to get my calendar for future presentations, I'll be glad to hear from you. So take care. See you next time.